Lord, I come before you today with a heart that feels pulled in different directions. The gap between my real life and the carefully curated images I see online has become a source of deep anxiety. Father, you see how I scroll through social media, comparing my unfiltered moments to everyone else's highlight reels. The beautiful homes with no clutter in sight, the children always smiling and well-behaved, the marriages that seem effortlessly romantic, the careers that appear to be constantly advancing. All of these images flood my mind and whisper that I'm falling short. God, you know the reality of my life. The laundry that never seems to be completely done, the arguments over homework, the budget that doesn't stretch as far as I'd like, the moments of disconnection with my spouse. In the quiet of this prayer, I acknowledge the gap between what I present to the world and what you see in the hidden corners of my home and heart. Father, I confess that I sometimes contribute to this culture of comparison by sharing only my best moments online. I carefully select the photos where everyone is smiling, edit out the imperfections, and craft captions that make our ordinary days sound extraordinary. There's a part of me that craves the validation of likes and comments, the affirmation that my family and my life measure up to some invisible standard. Lord, this cycle leaves me feeling exhausted and inauthentic, constantly performing rather than simply living the life you've given me. The pressure to maintain this curated image creates anxiety that follows me throughout my day, making me see ordinary moments as potential content rather than gifts to be fully present for. God, I long for freedom from this performance trap, for the courage to embrace and share my real, messy, beautiful life without fear of judgment or rejection. I want to model authenticity for my children in a world that increasingly values appearance over substance. Lord, you know how social media triggers my insecurities as a mother. I see posts about homemade organic baby food when I'm serving chicken nuggets again. I read about elaborate sensory activities while my children are watching their second hour of television so I can get work done. I see spotless playrooms when my living room floor is covered in toys. These comparisons plant seeds of doubt that grow into anxiety about whether I'm doing enough, being enough, providing enough for my children. Father, in these moments of comparison, remind me that you see beyond the surface to the love that motivates my mothering. Help me to recognize that my children need my presence and attention more than they need picture-perfect experiences. Give me wisdom to discern which ideas online might genuinely benefit our family, and which ones simply add pressure without purpose. Most of all, help me to see my children through your eyes rather than through the distorted lens of social media expectations. God, I ask for your help in navigating the financial anxiety that social media often triggers. The constant stream of new home renovations, family vacations, brand name clothing, and the latest gadgets creates a sense that everyone else can afford a lifestyle that remains out of reach for us. The pressure to provide these experiences and possessions for my family sometimes leads to unwise spending or unnecessary debt, followed by shame and worry. Lord, when I'm tempted to believe that material things will bring my family happiness or status, redirect my heart to what truly matters. Help me to model contentment and gratitude for what we have rather than constantly striving for more. Give me courage to make financial decisions based on our family's values and resources, rather than on keeping up with what others appear to have. Remind me that many of the perfect lives I see online are carefully curated illusions that may hide financial stress or misplaced priorities. Father, I pray for wisdom in how I use social media in my own life. Sometimes I find myself mindlessly scrolling when I could be engaging with my family or resting my mind. The constant input of information and images leaves me feeling overwhelmed and inadequate rather than inspired or connected. Lord, help me to establish healthy boundaries around my screen time, to be intentional about when and why I engage with social media. Give me discernment to follow accounts that genuinely encourage and inspire me while unfollowing those that consistently trigger comparison or discontent. Show me how to use these platforms as tools for authentic connection and encouragement rather than as measuring sticks for my worth or success. Most of all, help me to remember that my identity is secure in you, not in the approval or perception of others online. When I feel the pull to check my phone again, redirect my attention to the real people and present moments right in front of me. God, I ask for your help in guiding my children through this digital landscape that they're growing up in. I worry about the impact of filtered images and curated lives on their developing sense of self and reality. The pressure they face to create perfect online personas while navigating the normal challenges of growing up seems overwhelming. Lord, give me wisdom to have honest conversations with them about the difference between online appearances and reality. Help me to create a home environment where authenticity is valued over perfection, where struggles can be shared without shame, and where worth isn't measured in likes or followers. Give my children the discernment to recognize manipulation and falsehood online, and the courage to be their genuine selves both online and offline. Most of all, anchor their identity so deeply in your love that the shifting sands of social validation cannot shake their sense of worth and purpose. For those watching, there's a special ebook in our pinned comment called Don't Think, Trust and Surrender that can help ease anxiety symptoms related to social media comparison. Remember, this complements but doesn't replace professional guidance for persistent anxiety issues. Father, I confess that social media has affected how I view my body and appearance. The constant stream of filtered, edited images has distorted my perception of what's normal or beautiful. I find myself scrutinizing my reflection, noticing every flaw, comparing myself to impossibly perfect standards. This anxiety about my appearance affects how fully I engage in life. Whether I allow myself to be in family photos, join my children in the swimming pool, or feel confident in social situations. Lord, heal my distorted self-image and help me to see myself through your eyes. Fearfully and wonderfully made, created with purpose and love. Give me the courage to model healthy body acceptance for my children, knowing they're watching how I speak about and treat myself. Help me to focus on caring for the body you've given me out of gratitude rather than punishment, to appreciate what it can do rather than fixating on how it looks. Most of all, remind me that true beauty flows from a heart connected to you, not from meeting arbitrary and ever-changing cultural standards. God, I pray for discernment in separating helpful inspiration from harmful comparison when I use social media. There are times when seeing another family's traditions sparks creative ideas for our own celebrations. There are recipes, parenting strategies, and organizational systems I've learned that genuinely benefit our home. Lord, help me to approach social media with a filter of gratitude and wisdom, taking what serves our family's unique needs and leaving what doesn't without judgment or envy. Give me the ability to appreciate others' gifts and journeys without diminishing my own. When I see someone sharing a triumph or blessing, help me to genuinely rejoice with them rather than questioning why we haven't experienced the same. Most of all, remind me that behind every perfect post is a real person with their own struggles, insecurities, and challenges. Someone who, like me, is simply doing their best with what they have and know in this season. Father, I ask for your help in cultivating deep gratitude for my actual, imperfect life. The comparison trap of social media often blinds me to the extraordinary blessings hidden in my ordinary days. I scroll past evidence of your faithfulness without noticing. The roof over our heads, food in our refrigerator, the sound of my children's laughter, the privilege of watching them grow. Lord, train my eyes to see these gifts not as entitlements but as undeserved blessings. When I'm tempted to focus on what others have that we don't, gently redirect my attention to the abundance we already enjoy. Help me to create family practices that cultivate thankfulness, whether it's sharing gratitude around the dinner table, keeping a blessing journal, or simply pausing to acknowledge moments of beauty and connection throughout our day. Most of all, may this gratitude overflow into generosity, as we recognize that everything we have is ultimately yours, entrusted to us for a purpose greater than our own comfort or status. God, I pray for healing from the anxiety that comes from feeling like I need to present a perfect image to the world. The energy it takes to maintain appearances, whether online or in person, leaves me exhausted and disconnected from my authentic self. Lord, give me the courage to be honest about our family's struggles as well as our joys, to admit when I'm overwhelmed or uncertain, to ask for help when I need it rather than pretending to have it all together. Help me to find safe people and communities where I can be fully known and loved, where vulnerability is met with compassion rather than judgment. I long to model for my children what it means to live authentically, to embrace both strengths and weaknesses as part of the beautiful complexity of being human. Most of all, remind me that you already know everything about me, every thought, every fear, every failure, and you love me completely. In the security of that perfect love, help me to release the exhausting pursuit of others' approval or admiration. Father, I ask for wisdom in navigating friendships in this age of social connection. Sometimes it seems like I have hundreds of friends online but few people who truly know the real me. The superficial nature of many digital interactions leaves me feeling simultaneously connected and isolated. Lord, help me to invest in deep, authentic relationships where I can be fully known and loved, where I can share both struggles and celebrations without fear of judgment. Give me discernment to recognize which online connections might develop into meaningful friendships and which ones are better kept casual. Show me how to be intentional about creating space for face-to-face connection, knowing that shared experiences and vulnerable conversations build bonds that likes and comments cannot. Most of all, help me to be the kind of friend who encourages authenticity in others, who responds to vulnerability with compassion rather than comparison, and who celebrates others' joys without envy or insecurity. God, I pray for healing from the anxiety that comes from feeling like our family needs to meet certain milestones or achieve specific accomplishments to be successful. Social media constantly shows me children winning awards, getting into prestigious schools, or developing impressive talents. It shows families taking exotic vacations, building dream homes, or starting successful businesses. Lord, when I'm tempted to measure our family's worth by these external markers, remind me of what truly matters in your eyes: faith, character, love, and service. Help me to recognize and celebrate the unique gifts and passions you've given each member of our family, even when they don't translate into Instagram-worthy moments. Give me wisdom to guide my children toward their authentic purpose rather than pushing them toward achievements that might bring recognition but not fulfillment. Most of all, free me from the lie that our family's story needs to follow anyone else's timeline or template to be valuable and beautiful. Father, I ask for your help in creating a home environment that values presence over performance. In a culture that constantly asks, "What have you accomplished?" help us to ask instead, "How have we loved?" When the pressure to produce and achieve creates anxiety for me or my family members, remind us that our worth isn't measured by our productivity or public recognition. Lord, show me how to create rhythms of rest and connection in our home. Times when we put away our devices, look into each other's eyes, and simply enjoy being together without agenda or documentation. Help me to be fully present in ordinary moments rather than constantly thinking about what's next or how something might appear to others. I want our home to be a sanctuary from the performance pressure of the outside world, a place where each family member knows they are loved for who they are, not for what they achieve or how they appear. Most of all, may our family culture reflect your kingdom values rather than the shifting values of our social media age. God, I pray for wisdom in how I talk about social media with my children. As they grow up in this digital world, they need guidance to develop healthy perspectives and habits. Lord, help me to have honest conversations about the reality behind perfect posts, the business models designed to keep us scrolling and comparing, and the importance of living for an audience of one rather than for likes and followers. Give me courage to set appropriate boundaries around technology in our home, even when it's unpopular or inconvenient. Help me to model healthy digital habits myself, knowing my children are watching how I relate to these platforms. Most of all, I pray that my children would develop strong internal filters that allow them to engage with social media critically and intentionally, taking what's helpful and leaving what's harmful without allowing it to define their worth or distort their reality. May they become wise digital citizens who use these tools for connection and creativity without becoming enslaved to comparison or validation. Father, I ask for your help in finding and building community with other women who are seeking authenticity in this curated culture. It's so easy to feel alone in my struggles when everyone else seems to have it all together. Lord, lead me to friends who are willing to be real about their challenges as well as their joys, who can laugh about the messy moments and cry through the painful ones. Give me courage to be the one who goes first in vulnerability, creating safe space for others to remove their masks as well. Help me to recognize that sharing our true stories, not just our highlight reels, creates bonds of genuine connection that social media likes and comments can never replace. I pray for discernment to know what to share, when to share it, and with whom to share it, protecting both my privacy and my authenticity. Most of all, may the authentic community I find and foster become a place where your love is made tangible through mutual support, encouragement, and grace. God, I pray for freedom from the fear of missing out that social media often triggers in me and my family. Seeing others' activities, gatherings, and opportunities creates anxiety that we're somehow missing the experiences that would make our lives complete or our children happy. This fear drives unhealthy patterns. Overscheduling our calendar, spending beyond our means, saying yes when we should say no, or feeling constant dissatisfaction with our normal routines. Lord, when I'm tempted by FOMO, remind me that you have good plans for our family that don't require us to copy anyone else's journey. Help me to discern which opportunities align with our values, capacity, and purpose, and which ones we can joyfully release. Give me confidence in the unique rhythm and traditions that define our family life, trusting that what looks ordinary to others may be exactly what we need in this season. Most of all, help me to model contentment for my children, teaching them that joy comes not from experiencing everything but from being fully present for the experiences we do have. Father, I ask for your help in using social media as a force for good rather than a source of anxiety. When used intentionally, these platforms can facilitate connection, encourage others, share helpful resources, and even create community around shared values or challenges. Lord, show me how to be a voice of authenticity and hope in digital spaces, sharing our real story, both struggles and joys, in ways that make others feel less alone. Give me wisdom to know what to share and what to keep private, protecting my family's dignity while still being genuine. Help me to use my online presence to point to your faithfulness rather than to present a perfect image. When I see others struggling with comparison or anxiety, give me words of encouragement and perspective that bring life rather than adding pressure. Most of all, may my digital footprint reflect your character, full of grace, truth, and love for others regardless of how they present themselves online. God, I pray for healing from the anxiety that comes from feeling like I'm constantly being evaluated based on what I share or don't share online. The pressure to document every family milestone, holiday tradition, or special achievement creates a sense that if it wasn't posted, it somehow didn't count or wasn't appreciated fully. Lord, free me from this performance mindset that turns precious family moments into content to be consumed by others. Help me to be fully present in experiences rather than viewing them through a screen or considering their shareability. Give me wisdom to know when sharing truly serves a purpose of connection or encouragement, and when it's better to simply treasure moments privately. Most of all, remind me that you see every moment of our family life, the beautiful and the broken, the picture-perfect and the painfully real, and that living for your approval rather than for social validation brings true freedom and peace. Father, I ask for your help in developing healthy rhythms of engagement and detachment from social media. The constant availability of these platforms makes it difficult to create boundaries that protect my mental health and family relationships. Lord, give me courage to implement regular digital Sabbaths, times when I intentionally disconnect from social media to reconnect with you, my loved ones, and my own thoughts. Help me to recognize the early warning signs of comparison anxiety, and to step away when scrolling begins to steal my joy or peace. Show me how to use these tools intentionally rather than habitually, engaging with purpose rather than mindlessly filling every spare moment. I pray for wisdom in creating household technology policies that protect all family members from the negative effects of constant connection, while still allowing for the benefits these platforms can provide. Most of all, help me to remember that my worth and my family's value are defined by you, not by any metric of online engagement or approval. God, I surrender my anxiety about measuring up in this social media age. I release the pressure to present a perfect image, to achieve certain milestones, or to provide Instagram-worthy experiences for my family. Instead, I choose to embrace the beautiful, messy reality of the life you've given us, with all its ordinary moments, imperfect relationships, and unique challenges. Lord, help me to see our story through your eyes rather than through the distorted lens of comparison. Give me gratitude for what is rather than anxiety about what isn't. Help me to use social media as a tool for connection and encouragement without allowing it to define my worth or dictate my priorities. Most of all, Anchor my identity so deeply in your unchanging love that the shifting sands of social validation cannot shake my peace or purpose. Thank you for seeing, knowing, and loving the real me, not just the version I present to the world, and for calling me to live authentically in a curated culture. If this prayer has touched your heart today, please take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who might be struggling with social media comparison and anxiety. Your simple act of sharing could be exactly what another woman needs to break free from the performance trap and embrace authentic gratitude for her real, beautiful life. Remember that behind every seemingly perfect post is a real person with real struggles, and by sharing our authentic journeys, we create space for others to do the same.